And before we settle this interview, I just want to give an example on how these so-called monarchs, people in government, don't even care about you. There's this tribe off the coast of Africa. They literally worship Prince Charles. They think he's a god. You know what Prince Charles does? He's not humble. He doesn't, say, "Oh, I'm not a god, please don't worship him." He, in fact, sent them a very giant portrait of him, and he thought it was funny. Absolute psychopaths. And these people are literally, you have to pay, 36% of our income tax to, the so-called government?
Imagine
and yet these
that.
people are on our side.
I mean, just think about how broken you have to be as an individual to even want power over other people, want to be somehow revered. I'm not looking for anybody to revere me, to to bow down to me. Slip there, I apologize.
No worries.
I get kind of emotional about something like that because so many people want to be ruled. So many people want a ruler, a master, somebody to tell them what to do. You have to be so fundamentally broken to want that, or to want to be that for somebody else. I don't want to be anybody's leader. I'm not interested in leading anybody. I'll be an example. That's fine. If I'm setting a good example for someone else, and they're saying, "Hey, you're helping me to understand," wonderful. I'm not your leader. I'm not your guru. I'm not somebody who's your spiritual leader to be looked up to or something like that. I'm human and flawed like everybody else. If I can help set somebody on the right path and point them toward the right information, toward the truth, so be it. And if I could be an example of courage for somebody to stop having all this fear of what other people think about them, of what's going to happen, of what lies in the future if we head down this path or that path, if I could be an example and courage, so be it. That's how I aspire to live my life, and hope that other people would try to aspire to live life like that too. Shed the fear. You got to put the fear outside your head, and you got to move forward, and you got to learn the truth and accept it no matter how ugly it is.
And Mark, you mind telling people what your website is, your band is, and just where they should start when they go to your website?
Yeah, sure. My main website is whatonearthishappening.com. That's whatonearthishappening.com. I always recommend to people to go to the podcast section, which is all the audio archives of my radio show throughout the years, and starting it back at number 1. Go back to the last page because they're in reverse chronological order, and go back to number 1 and start in order. Don't skip around. Take them in order at your own pace. And there's supplemental material with a lot of the podcasts. There's images, there's related documents, related videos, etc. Books that you can read, other researchers that you can research, guests that I've had on, etc. So if you do that, you're going to get the maximum from the information I've put out over the years. If you want to try to take it in a very condensed way, the video section is another good place. I recommend the podcast, but the video section has a lot of great material there as well. And my natural law seminars there, they're the first 3 videos in the videos section. I think those are the 3 most important videos I've ever put out, or will ever probably put out, because that's the most critical information to understand, is what natural law is and how it is the real law of attraction that is working in conjunction with our free will choice to provide the consequences of our behaviors to us. These cosmic moral laws act as a huge mirror to reflect back to us what we put out into the universe through our actions. And that's the real law of attraction, and people really desperately need to understand it because it is the most occulted information on the earth. This is what the rulers of the world, the powers that should not be in our world, desperately do not want people understanding. Because once they understand natural law, it's game over for them, and the belief in authority crumbles, and the belief in coercion and violence crumble. The belief in slavery, in the legitimacy of slavery crumbles. And that's what the ruling class doesn't want. So I recommend those videos if you have more limited time to study, but for those who want to really pursue this knowledge and understand it deeply, of course, I'm not the only person you should be researching. You should be taking in a lot of information from an eclectic variety of sources and individuals. But my podcast section may be a good place to start, to weave the tapestry, so to speak, if you will. A lot of people have always contacted me and said, I studied a lot of this information, but you're the one who brought it all together in a tapestry that made sense for me, for what was really going on. And that's where I do feel I've contributed and been able to use my communication and organizational skills to help in that regard. So once again, whatonearthishappening.com. Also, if you like hard music, which I do, I'm a rock fan and a metal guy and a fan of punk rock. I have a new band called The Founders. You could check that out at thefounders.us. We don't have any official recordings yet, just some live performances. You know, not the best audio quality out there, but you'll get the gist of it. We're going to be recording a demo pretty soon and eventually an album. But if you want to check that out, it's old school hardcore punk with a little bit of a modern edge. And once again, the band name is The Founders, and the site is thefounders.us.
Once again, Mark, thanks for coming on, man.
Alex, thanks so much.